God makes all music, right? And as long as it isn't glorifying Satan in a way, how can you separate secular? A swag surf is secular. That's bad.
Non-Christians sing the song, right? It's played in the.
So is rap music secular?
I mean, it depends on what you're talking about.
Right. It depends on what you're talking about.
Right, but what is swag surf? What's swag surf? What are they talking about?
Swag surfing.
What's the lyrics? We know it's a dance. We know we created the dance.
So here's what I would say.
But the electric slide is a dance too. But do you know what the electric slide is really about? Freaking vibrator. Why are you playing that in church?
The electric slide is about a vibrator?
Yes.
Says who?
Listen to the lyrics.
Go to the lyrics. Go ahead.
Want me to pull it up?
Slide to the left, slide to the right.
No, that's not the song. That's the cha-cha. That's the you can't.
I'm not cool. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not cool.
Nah.
Go ahead.
So here's what I would say about it. It just depends on. I think it depends on like what generation you're from. Number one. Also the intention behind it. Number two, because my buddy texted me, an old head of mine, and he was like, what you think about this? Because I know you be in the church, and I was like, well, it just depends on the intention behind it. But then also, if it was me, I probably would have played it without the lyrics. So
what song?
The Swag Surf.
Okay.
Because of the when you I got hypnotic on my mind.
Yeah, like you can't.
Yeah. Got you.
So I would have played the song, but I would have played the instrumental version. Or maybe like switch the words up a little bit.
Right.
But then my other point is, what's the point? Why are we doing this? Why are we playing Swag Surf in church here and now? What was the point?
Well, I think it was the environment that they were in. There was a lot of young people there. So when you are, so like when I think about Jesus, right? He was of the community. He was in community, but he wasn't a part of he wasn't of the community, right? Mm-hmm. So he was in the community, right? But he wasn't of the community. So I do believe that like when you're talking about those type of things, I just look at Jesus, and I'm not perfect. I may be right or wrong.
I mean, Jesus had more problem with religious people than he did.
Right,
and he did with sinners.
And he hung out with the
I
people
just tweeted that today.
But although he did hang out with the people who were of not maybe like the religious prestige or whatever you want to call it, he also did not indulge in worldly ways.
Mm-hmm. I would say this. Mm-hmm. I think it's inappropriate on many levels to try to infiltrate a song such as that into church to attract young people. Because God doesn't want you to be attracted to him by what you were trying to get away from. If we trying to get away from having hypnotic on your body and all that other stuff, why are we playing that in church?
Well, let me ask you this question then. What about being relatable in a way where you already had them in the church, right? And then you end up being relatable, but then what comes after that? Because
you can be relatable with. What if you forget the song. There's many ways you can be relatable about what's in the word and scripture from your everyday life. Just wanting to yearn and see God outside of having the need of being relatable because of a secular song. That's not necessary.
But what about the intentions behind the song? Forget
the song. Okay, the intent is to be relatable to grab them from what?
So here's the thing. So I can go. So let me go about my church. Right, my church is full of young people, straight young people. Right. Shout out to VU Church. And what I would say is we do play music that is maybe not gospel music. We're not playing like, drop down and get your eagle on, girl. But
right.
Clap your wings.
Right. But there's some times where we're playing songs that are relatable to culture maybe, but we're already in the place of worship. And then what comes after that, when I think our pastor is one of the best teachers of the Bible and being relatable, and I think the environment that we have, it's inclusive. It's inclusive in a way where everybody can come, but it's exclusive in a way that although you can come, once you start to come a lot, you have to then abide by our...
What'd he say?
He said, once you come a lot, he said it twice. He was like, whoa, pause.
Wait, what'd he say?
He said, once you come a lot, like come to the church.
That's wild. That's wild.
We was talking about Jesus. And
he was talking about Jesus, bro.
But that's what happens, right?
Right.
My intention behind what I was saying was to glorify God.
Right, but it came out really... Like, no.
Yeah, that was... But then people try to... But here's what I think. And I think once you come into the place and once you start abiding by this environment, you then have to abide by the principles that are here. We may do things sometimes where, you're having, we have Christmas parties or Thanksgiving parties or whatever, but it's the intention behind it is not to go and do that. But you can come into this environment, but then once you're in the environment, this is what we're really about. These are the things that we're doing. And although we may have a party, the intentions behind the party are blah, 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 blah.
We have principles, right? We have principles and we have precepts, right? We are not all perfect, so we'll put all that to the side. I love your intention perspective. That's really important. We have to be careful not to get caught up in dogma, right? And we have to understand that Christ, before he left, he said, go out and teach the word.
Be fishers of men.
Right. Be fishers of men. Make sure we're teaching the word. And it is a skill to know how to fish in deep or shallow waters. The same way I'm catching a goldfish is not the same way I'm going to catch a sailfish. It's two different things, right? Respect what you're saying too, right? We have to separate ourselves from the world. There has to be a difference. Totally get it. But when we really get down into it, music comes from God, right? That's where it comes from. That's where the gift comes from. I don't care if DMX is rapping about hoes and bees, right? Music comes from God.
Right.
It is perverted by Satan and the word, right? But it can be the same melody can be used for good because it is good music, right? Now, when it comes to the swag surf thing, yeah, the lyrics make it terrible. But you know what we sound like? We sound like our parents when Kirk Franklin brought rap into the church. And everybody's like, oh, that's secular music. No, it's not.
We don't sound like them because Kirk Franklin was actually singing Kirk Franklin music.
No, but
but it was gospel music. Playing swag surf in church was a secular song.
I know, and I said that. But when he said, when I take out the music, when I take out the lyrics, you still felt some type of way about it.
Oh, I don't know.
I know, but that's to my point.
But you feel some type of way because you know the lyrics.
Because you know the lyrics. But it's good music, and if it's used to glorify God, it is good. That's why I said you sound like our parents when Sir Kirk Franklin was doing gospel music. They say that gospel music gone too far, and he's like, I'm standing on this. He's like, this is good music. Rap is music. Drums is music. All this other stuff is all music. As long as it's used to glorify God, it's all good. The lyrics do make a difference.
100%. And then even when you talk about this at the beginning of times, you got to understand that music is the most. Like Satan, Lucifer, he was
in charge. He was
music. If not the left, it wasn't Jesus, it was him.
It was him.
And he was over. That's why he had to be punished in the way that he was punished, because he already had so much power. And why? Because he was over music. Like when we go to church, one of the most powerful things to do is worship, right? So I look at it as like, all right, the world is we're constantly being fed all of these different type of music, songs, lyrics, and whatnot. You be the judge of whatever you listen to. But it's like, how can we kind of take that and repurpose it? It's like how you repurpose content and make it to where it's relatable, but still it's of God in a way. And I just think that's, especially in today's time, you got to kind of be relatable in a way, because there's so many other, with social media, with, cell phones, with technology, with, with school, with whatever it is, there's so many things that are taking away our attention. It's like, how do we pin the needle into this thread, because there's so many, like, how can I get these group of kids' attention? And honestly, when you look at, when you're trying to preach or when you're trying to get people closer to God, it's the young people that matter the most. It's like when you teach a kid, the best time to teach a kid is when he's young, because they're fresh, they're bright. It's hard to do it when you're already an adult. It's hard to get your finances right when you're already 40, 50, 60. You're already stuck in your ways. You don't think it can happen. It's harder to get in shape when you get older. So the best time to do it is with the younger generation.
It's
a double-edged sword.
Is it harder to get people saved now?
I think so.
You think so?
I think it's harder, but it's becoming, with social media, with YouTube, with all these things, it's harder, but it's not.
Very controversial statement I'm about to say. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a lot of saved people in the world. A lot of people go to church. That's it.
Okay.
There's nobody really truly in the spirit, like truly wanting to read the word.
I want to say nobody. Don't say nobody.
Not nobody. You're right.
There's not a lot of saved people. Okay. Now.
Hold
on. Okay.
For me, I'm not interested in being relatable to anything or anyone of society.
Okay.
What's in this word that's going to not only edify me, because I live in the standard of like my life is not my own. Mm-hmm. So if I'm living according to what the word of God is saying and I'm producing what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to attract those that are meant to be in my alignment. Like y'all know when Jesus was born and those men seen the star, I want my star to shine bright so you can see me. Those attached to that star, I need my star to be clean and bright in order for them to come and see me so that I can do the job for them. But if I'm so busy worrying about all the other factors of society and the world, my star is dimmed. I'm not truly in the word. I'm not truly in my purpose. I'm not truly living what he wants. I'm not interested in just going to church. And there's a lot of people saying they're Christians and they're going to church, but they're not really in the word. They're not truly seeking and thirsting God. Hence why they want to be playing swag surf in the church. It's not funny. Because we are all dying, low key. Like the world is coming to an end tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's a lot of people prepared to know what that means.
That's how you have to look at it.
Mm-hmm. What?
No, I'm agreeing. Okay. Like the world is ending tomorrow.
Go ahead. What you about to say?
You saying there's not a lot of saved people. Can you become unsaved?
I don't think you can become unsaved.
So once you accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior, you are saved, right?
You're saved. Yeah,
right. So there's no going back.
But I think there's a lot of people playing church.
There's a lot of people
playing church.
I don't know if you. I don't know if I agree with that.
I asked the question.
You know, I'm not a pastor. Right. But what I would say is that I do believe once you get saved, you know, I think that's. And you can repent always. And even the most prominent figures in the Bible, after they got saved, did the worst things. After God, like David, after God gave him everything.
And what did God call him? My favorite.
Right. And so I think that if you intentionally keep doing the things that you know you're not supposed to do, you know, after you made that declaration, without any remorse, like without any real remorse, then I think that can bring you further away from God and eventually, like,
there you go.
Maybe, but I don't know because I'm not Jesus.
I like how you stretch it out, right? So sin is intentional, so you will always intentionally sin.
It's our nature,
right? Exactly.
You're going
to. No one has to teach a kid how to lie, right? So you will always sin.
He's gonna want to hide the cookies from
you. Christ said David was his favorite because he was remorseful, right?
Because of his heart.
Right, because of his heart. So as long as you are in this body, you will always sin. David saw this girl.
He was like,
I want her.
She is bad.
This after he saved. God made him king.
After he got everything.
After he got everything, right? He had everything. Killed Goliath. God gave him everything. He saw her. He's like, I want her. And I'm going to kill her husband to get her. That is evil.
Very.
And I want you to process that. That is evil.
And not even kill her. Not even kill him. Come up with an entire plan to make it as if there was no intention behind it.
There was no intention behind it. They add the conspiracy charge to it, right? Killed him, right? Got her pregnant.
My God.
This is like, he's in heaven. That man is in heaven,
and probably with a lot of
right.
All right, but don't, like, when you say that, don't make it don't say that now. And then Mr. Pastor, he was a
I just know my word,
teacher, y'all. No, listen, because then you want to entice people to be like, oh, I could do that.
No, I'm not saying that because we have to be careful of the zealots that are quick to send people to hell.
Oh, 100%.
Right, because of their sins.
100%.
Because everyone has a different teaching style. My teaching style is that you can be the worst of the worst. Because God's favorites were the worst of the worst. Elijah, David, all those people were the worst of the worst. And Saul, they were terrible, terrible people. Right, Saul into Paul. He was the first. He was the first Hitler. And Jesus came to me. He's like, "Yo, what'd I do to you?" He killed millions of Christians. He was a terrible person. Jesus came to him.
I know you didn't want to watch it, but
that's what is about. Okay. Don't tell me about it because I'm going to watch it. Right?
I'm going to watch it tonight.
I'm going to watch it. So that's why I speak to them. I'm like, no, like, I'm a sinner and I ain't do nothing they do. And I know I'm saved. If they're saved, then I definitely get saved. And remember what Jesus said on the cross to the dude. He was like, today you will be with me in paradise. No extra stuff he had to do. Nothing. The word I know says if you accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior, you will be with him in paradise. After you accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior, I know this journey is hard and you will continue to sin. Continue. Give us this day our what? our daily bread.
But be careful, because it also say, but God, I prophesied in your name. And get away from me. I never knew you.
I never knew you. Right.
So you can do all those things and be all those things and be 100%. Saved and then be out here doing what you want. But remember, I never knew you. Depart from me. That is a hard pill to swallow.
Hard pill to swallow.
So you got to pick your battle on what you really want to do.
And I think environment plays like a big part of that as well. You know, because once you, like for me, for an example, especially like these last like 4 months, all right? I've been so specific in what environments I put myself in because I know my weaknesses. I know my weaknesses very well. And it's like, I can't be in these environments as much, if at all, you know, if I want to really be the person who God called me to be. And, you know, we were on, I have a men's group with Drew actually. And it's like 1,000 of us in there. We do like a call every Thursday, almost every Thursday. And we were just talking about, I think one of the guys were talking about, he was talking about like your environment is what's going to fuel your body. Like what type of environments do you choose to be in? Like, you know, whatever you read is what's gonna feed you. You know, and it's the same concept. So I just believe in, like, you know, the environment, whatever environment you put yourself in and whatever community you're in, that's who you're gonna become. Because even the Bible talks about even the most righteous man in a bad community and a bad environment will get poisoned. And it's the same concept. You could have the best intentions in the world, but if it's one of you in 50 or 100 of the thing that you're not trying to be a part of anymore, you're going to still be a part of that.
I think we also have to remember the journey of all relationships, right? So I liken, we have to do like a parable or a metaphor, right? So once you're married, you're married. Right? I'm doing air quotes here, right? So once we accept Jesus Christ as our personal savior, we get baptized, we are married to Christ. And what did he say? Nothing can break us up. The gates of hell cannot come between us, right? And I think in every relationship, there is a journey. So in your journey with Christ, right, even after you were saved, like you just said, you were still in those environments, right? And as you got closer and closer to him, your relationship with everything else started to change because you got closer and closer with him. So those started to pass away, right? And you will continue to elevate. But let me ask you something. While you were in those environments, you were still saved or not?
Yeah.
But your journey was progressing. He was taking you, drawing you nigh unto him.
Right.
It's not a black and white. And I think this is where grace comes into everything. That's why we have to look at the word in its totality, because there's grace in it. What if you died while you were still in those environments? Are you saved or not? Are you going to see, when you open your eyes, is he going to say, well done, my good and faithful servant? Or are you condemned to damnation? Or were you on a journey with Christ and he was holding your hand already, but you just didn't make it? Right. So I think there's a continuum that we have to process. And it is important that we remember the example that we gave with David and why he called that degenerate, as far as I'm concerned. Because if David was on the shade room, nobody would give him grace. But Christ said he's my favorite because of his heart. So while you was in those environments, you were praying like, God, I'm trying. I'm working on this. I'm praying. I'm fasting. This is hard. Are you working on it?
Right,
Are you genuinely seeking me?
Right.
Right. And I think the relationship is what gets you saved. I know you're not perfect, but I got you. Come on, let's work with this.
Right. Well, listen, y'all. So I got to give a shout out to our guy, Herman Dolce and Gabbana Jr., Haitian CEO, and Miss Damaris Long here. Mm-hmm. And I guess we can start here. Y'all want to start here? Is that cool?
Yeah, we can start here. That was a great
intro. That's a great introduction, man.
All right, so this is my name's Amari, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be here today. Do I look in the camera? Like, what do I do?
No, you just vibe, bro. The camera already looking at you.
Oh, it's right there?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? My name's Amari, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. This is the episode, I guess you can call it episode 1.
Right.
Episode 1 of...
Episode 1.
We're just going to call it the Secure Your Future, right? Secure Your Future Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Where we come in and we introduce guests and we have conversations. It's not an interview, as you can see.
Right.
You know, it's more of a conversation of how you can secure your future. And I like to do seven ways, because I believe that 7 is the number of completion.
Mm-hmm.
And that is mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, relationally, financially, but most importantly, if you were listening to before, spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of where we are right now. So if you want to introduce yourself, you know, what you do, what you guys do, I want to say I thank you guys for being on the pod. This is probably our 10th time. interacting over the last 30 days.
30 days, I know, right?
They were at my event, the Entrepreneurs Link Up, which was amazing. And I'm honored for you guys to be here. So,
yeah.
Ladies first.
We'll go.
That's wild. That's wild. That's wild.
I'm Damaris, CEO of Bella Sloan Enterprises.
And I am Herman Dolce, also known as Haitian CEO, founder of Bella Sloan Enterprises.
There you go. Founder of Bella Sloan Enterprises and
the CEO of Bella Sloan Enterprises.
So we got the best of the best here. So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
And I guess before we even go into what you guys do, bringing it back to the spirituality part, does spirituality and does your spiritual side, like having a good spiritual side, does that progress and does that elevate what you guys are doing and who you're doing it with and how successful you are?
I'm walking in my calling. Yeah. So I'm doing what God told me to do. Right. So because I'm doing what God told me to do, I'm walking in my gift. Right. It directly correlates with the success of the business. Right. So if I was walking outside of it, it just wouldn't happen. I'll give you an example. So I did a guide trip to Costa Rica. Right. And it was lit. Right. You bring $100 there, man, you king. Right. So we had this amazing compound. The compound was so dope. All the rooms, the rooms in the compound, the bedrooms were apartments. So it had a living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, and it was a room in this big mansion. It was just totally lit. I go back to work, right? And my head started hurting. Like I went from living like a king for 10 days to going to this cubicle, and I was making $100,000, American dream, right? And I was feeling sick. I was like, man, I should quit. I just want to. And Bella Sloan already started. I was taking phone calls in the closet like this, like Bella Sloan Enterprise, I can help you, right? And then God was like, yeah, it's time to quit. And I'm scared because I have a job that's paying me $125,000 a year. They give me 10% bonus every March, which is another $12,500. You know, I'm Haitian born, like I've made it, right? But God had more, right? And God put a physical manifestation on me. Because I wasn't being obedient, right? And he's like, no, it's time to quit, and it's time to do this full time, right? Still wasn't listening. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna give myself a date. I was like, December 31st, 2018, 2019, whatever it is, I'm gonna quit. And then I had to fast about the decision, but God already told me he's like, it's time to quit. But I was like, yo, I'm still gonna fast. So I fasted about it. My man Fitz called me randomly. He sent me a Gary V video. And the Gary V video said, this young guy, he's like, yo, should I quit my job? Gary V was like, yes. He said immediately. He's like, Dad, you don't want to hear the story? He's like, bro, you're 22. Quit your job now. Because if you mess up, you're young. You always get another job. But this time, you're never going to get back. Right? Ignored it. Because when God's speaking to you, he's speaking to you. The next day, my wife sends me a random text. She was like, fear and faith cannot exist in the same space. I sent that was like a Wednesday. I sent the resignation the next day. I was like, hey, I just want to put my 2 weeks in. This is scary for me, right? I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. That Monday, God was like, you still there? I was like, I put my 2 weeks in. He's like, 2 weeks in for what? I said, quit the job. You put your 2 weeks in, you know, out of respect because, hey, you know, you're going to get another job at some point. You want to leave him high and dry. He's like, I said, quit the job. Quit the job. The next day, our entrepreneur friend called me. She's like, yo, we're going to Miami. I want to show you how to do this fund and play. So we got on a plane on a Tuesday, was there for 24 hours. I watched her raise $250,000 in capital and was back home. Right? So walking in obedience, right, taught me some things about my business that 10x'd me. Right. So my business and my walk and my faith are extremely correlated. So it's not an accident how we help so many people. So many people come to us. You changed my life. People quit their jobs. We've made at least 9 millionaires because God used me to help others. That was a long story, but I had to. No, that was a great. I had to break it down though.
That was a great long story. So when you're walking in your purpose, right, as you guys are doing now, that's what you guys feel like you're doing now. You know, what is that thing like? How does somebody go from, you know, maybe not walking in their purpose, or maybe not even knowing that it's their purpose, and then walking in their purpose and whatever that is?
How do they what?
How do they go from not walking into their purpose? Like, how does somebody go from I'm here, maybe I'm unhappy, maybe I'm, you know, miserable. I know maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. How do they go and how do they get to the steps and to where they are eventually doing what they want to do, making more money, you know, being better mentally, physically, whatever that is, you know, what is that transition like, you know, for the not the average person, but the everyday person?
I think we kind of I think we made God too complex, to be honest. Because in the word he says, I want to be a friend of yours, right? Just like in anything, I go to my advisor for advice. What should I do? Right? God help me. Like, we're not fasting, we're not talking to him daily. He will respond. So when he responds to you, it gives you direction and takes you down that path of where you need to go. That's why I don't think it's that hard. I don't know what you need to do. Ask God. Right. But we make it hard. Like, he's not going to talk to me. He eventually is going to answer you.
In some way, shape,
or form, he's going to answer you. Right. When I was getting married, I'm going to give you another long story. When I was getting married, stick around.
Your podcast.
Y'all flight not for another 8 hours.
CEO podcast.
Wow.
We are here live in his good stories. Go ahead. Go on.
Is that a spirit?
That's a spirit. Like, that's a defiant spirit. I received that.
Hey, ego edging God out.
He's not my man.
That guy?
Nah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna make it short. I promise.
Nah.
I like how we all just got comfortable.
Because he about to be
She turned. I like sat back a little bit.
We're here.
All right. Just like, hurry up. Let's get it.
I finished getting my master's. Janelle finished getting her bachelor's, became a nurse, right? And I was with her for a long time. I was like, all right, well, should I marry this girl? And guess who I went to? My advisor. Should I marry this woman? Right? I got off my knees after I finished praying. My dad called me from New York. He was a property manager in New York. He's like, yo, you gonna marry that girl? That's wild that you said it. This is a true story. I'm not making it up. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. He's like, yo, there's this guy moving out. He worked in a Jewish apartment building, predominantly Jews. So they had of course, everybody there was wealthy. He's like, yo, one of the grandsons, he got his grandmother's ring. Like, you want it? I was like, what? Okay. My dad brought it to me from New York. Beautiful ring, 2-carat ring, right? Got it appraised. It was like $20,000. He's like, yeah, I'll give it to you for $900.
Wow.
$900. I was like, wow, I guess I'm marrying this girl. Right? Right? Because I asked and God gave me the ring. God had my father come to be like, yo, are you ready to marry her? Because I think it's time. And of course, the rest is history. If I didn't marry her, who wouldn't exist? Bella Sloan. There'll be no Bella Sloan.
Wow.
Obedience.
Some people would have thought that is like, some people could have took that and be like, oh, I'm settling because I'm just settling for the hand-me-down ring, or I'm settling for, you know?
And other people would have been like, you got a $20,000 ring for $900.
Right. It's all perspective.
Yeah. Talking about.
Period.
Put the insurance on it just in case.
We all feel that way.
You know what I'm saying? Nah. Right. It was a solid come up. Mm-hmm. And she got a crazy ring. But no, it again, leading in obedience, Bella Sloan Enterprises. Bella Sloan was created, Bella Sloan Enterprises. She has a job making $1 million a year. Wow, we're helping many people. But walking in obedience. Wow. Because I asked, like I'm asking, so I don't think it's that difficult for me anyway.
So now that we know that where Bella Sloan came from, your
Mm-hmm.
daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how was even the idea of not your daughter, but the business behind it? Like, why did you come up with the Bella Sloan, or like start to do the business funding?
So I was doing credit repair first, doing some traveling, and my brother was I had to take 2 weeks off for the baby moon with Bella when Janelle was pregnant. And then while I was there, I used all my vacation days, so I couldn't have time with Bella when she was born. And I was talking to my brother about it, and he said the J line: if you don't own your own, you'll never be free. So I was like, I don't know what businesses are. He's like, that credit thing you're doing. He's like, stop doing it for free. Charge people for it. So that was the inception of Bella Sloan Enterprises, where I was charging people for the service. Went on YouTube University to become better at the skill. The algorithm brought me to business credit, funded myself some business credit, and then I took that education to go serve other people. It's all that's why our business is dope, because our model is serving people first before we ask them for money, right? So I'm teaching you how to do it. It works. Teach me more. It'll cost you, right? Or I'll do it for you and I'll charge you, and then that 10x our business.
The three ways to enter any room is to serve your way, is to earn your way, and or to pay your way. And I think that service is
wait, say that again. That's a good job.
The 3 ways to get into any room. is to serve your way.
Serve your way.
Probably the one that anybody and everybody can do. Because even in the Bible, Jesus talks about the best leadership is servant leadership.
Okay.
Right? Number 2 is to earn your way.
Earn your way.
Accolades, what have you done? Who have you helped?
Right. That puts you in the room. Right.
Or pay your way.
Pay your way into the room.
Pay your way. And that usually happens last. So those are the 3 ways to get into the room. So what you're doing, or what anybody should do really, is really to serve your way. How can you serve? Even if you're at the top of, the top of whatever mountain that you think that you're on, if you're at the top of that mountain, you're still going to be serving people, because you guys are probably one of the ones that are at the top of the credit funding, business funding mountain. But I continually see y'all serve, and that's why you guys are flourishing how you guys are flourishing. So I just want to say that you got to serve your way, earn your way, or pay your way.
Pay your way. I like that. He trying to go viral again. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Nah, definitely.
That's crazy.
You just better know I stole it, bro.
No, but even in my early entrepreneur career, and it's still early, I'm still trying to figure it out. But I've been able to get, the reason why I do what I do is because I've been blessed to be able to get in the rooms that I didn't pay my way to get into, and I didn't earn my way to be into. But because of who I was attached to, I knew that I had to serve that person and serve somebody else's vision for even my own vision to come true, because that's what we have to do. We have to be a part of somebody else's vision. You have to be a part of somebody else's vision. You have to help somebody else with credit, help somebody else, get a 650 credit score, 680 credit score, 750 credit score before they can come around and they can go get the business funding and you go get a percentage of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I'm here now. I started for free. Serving.
Right. And so, so I guess my question is, what is the purpose of, or not, what is the benefit of serving, and why should people serve, in whatever capacity that they're in?
Well, the benefit for me, I can't speak for everybody.
Especially for free, because people think about free and like, I'm not doing it for free, but it's like,
I have a genuine heart.
To a certain
point. Well, similar to Herman's long-winded story.
That's crazy. It's wild. It's not safe here, bro.
Following your purpose is what you do. Like, so my first natural love language is to serve, right? That's just what I do. But God told me to go back home. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for 3 years, and I was there for the wrong reasons. And I came back home, and he was like, "Go ahead." And I was working 5 jobs. I had 5 W-2s.
5 W-2s.
Wildest thing ever. Grinding. Don't ask me how I did it, but I did it. Literally grinding. And then I was like, I can help you because I did mortgages, right? But I was like an independent contractor mortgage, so I could go in the office when I want or whatever. I had free time. I was like, I'll help you. He's like, for real? I was like, yeah. I got to pay you? No. Why? We friends. Like, I come to your house, we have cookouts and all that.
The Lord sent her.
And I'll help you. So I never thought that I was going to be like here. I didn't want anything. So I guess to answer your question is, when you walk and operate in a genuine heart, in a genuine space, and you're serving, God's going to bless you regardless. And I feel like a lot of people don't operate in that space. They're opportunists. Oh, wait, I can see what I can get from you. Let me see. And they want something from you. I genuinely didn't want anything from him. Genuinely. And I had no idea I was going to be here 6 years later, still here serving. Getting on my nerves.
Whatever.
I can't wait for y'all to have a TV show. It's going to be amazing.
It's coming. We're working on it.
Yeah.
And it's funny? We still serve now.
Yeah.
I don't care how many millions of dollars have been met, how many people that we have helped to continue to get to the next level. We continue to serve. I mean, Lala's still in the room. How many times have we said, what can we do for you? Right? Every time we talk, because she's done so much for us indirectly, she doesn't even know. So I'm like, damn, like I feel like this is not mutual. Like, what can we do to serve? And then it grows from there. So start there serving first. You'd be surprised where it takes you.
Does serving make yourself more valuable? Because one of the things that I say is that your network is not I say that your network is not your net worth. It's the value you bring to your network that determines your net worth.
You trying to go viral again?
No.
Yeah, he trying.
It's just something that I say because
the producers are nodding.
I'm gonna tell you why I say it. I say it because when people look at my life, they say, "Oh, you have this person, or you were raised in this family, or not knowing that my mom had me at 14." Now you have all these resources. I'm like, I do, and can I call them? I can, but for what? What value am I bringing to them? So that's the thing. Like, I think serving, as you said, and maybe you do it for free for a certain amount of time to gain knowledge. But even when you do that, you have to become valuable. And serving is how you make yourself become more valuable.
100%. And in serving, you have to problem solve.
100%. And I was listening to an audio the other day, and the Audible said that whatever job you're at right now, go to your boss or wherever you're working at, CEO, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, in that same role, go to your boss, whoever's above you or whatever, and say, hey, look, I want to take on some of the tasks of the role above me, and I'll do it for free. Because then that makes yourself more valuable.
I ain't doing it today.
No, I'm not saying that, but
I'm not doing nothing else free. I earned my keep.
But you have to start somewhere. So
I have Allen Iverson, Penny Hardaway, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, Wallow Gilly, and many other phone numbers here in my phone. I remember when Allen gave me his number. I knew I was never calling Allen Iverson.
Right.
I think I texted him once or twice. Right. What am I texting Allen Iverson for?
That's what I'm saying.
What value do I have for that man? Nothing. Not at all. So it is important because people are like, oh, well, y'all bust it up. I was like, no, he has enough friends, right? Unless I have true value to give to that man, I think he's made $100 million. Unless I got a $250 million, $500 million play, there's no reason for me to be on that man's phone.
Sometimes value is also present.
Value is also presence, like being in his space.
Your presence is
of
value to other people.
Right.
You know, because in today's society, especially, there's a lot of people that's not like valuable. That makes sense, and their personalities or their intentions behind certain things, and so people like that especially have of a financial background in that kind of way need people with a valuable presence. Amazing,
you said that, right? So if you don't have a mic, I don't know if people didn't hear you. Your presence is the value to that person. Yesterday on my podcast, Shabazz, the OG, was on my podcast, and he met Allen Iverson like one or two times, and then like the third time, when Allen saw him, he embraced him and hugged him, and he was just so shocked, right? Because OG brought a good vibe to Allen Iverson's life. He's like, bro, I couldn't offer him anything else because he's Allen Iverson. They've been friends for 25 years, right? Because of his vibe, his presence that he gives to Allen Iverson. So that's very, very true. What does your presence give? Because sometimes certain energies is like, I need that energy. I need that vibe. Yeah. You keep me centered. Other people, you're like, oh, it's all good, bro. Facts.
So in your business, talking about energy and vibes, in your business, what kind of culture do you guys have in your business and your mentorship? Like, what does that look like?
Oh, and I be bidding. I like to bid.
Wait, time out. This is Miami. I don't know how y'all talk in Philly.
God.
So what is bidding?
It's like joking, vibing out, like roasting.
Yeah, okay, we're not brain surgeons, man. Yeah. There's nobody lives is in danger. We keep it light. Nothing is that serious. Oh, the collection didn't come off. Sorry, bro. Give me 30 more days. Oh, you only got 50,000 instead of 75. Give me a minute. It's nothing that serious. So we like to keep it light. You're gonna be okay. It's not that serious. You have bad credit for 10 years. You can have it for another. The
next 30
minutes.
days, you'll be okay.
You'll be okay.
But overall, we want it to be more like a family environment, family fun. Like I want it to be low key. Like we banter all day long.
Right.
Like, and that's the environment I want them to feel safe in. My biggest thing is to feel safe and to also get the results you need so that you'll keep coming back.
In this credit space, right? Because a lot of people, if you listen to, especially if you're like a Christian or whatnot, people listen to like the Dave Ramsey, right? And he talks about, don't have credit cards, everything cash, paying on all your debts. And I guess that's good for the beginner, but what is the benefits of credit, especially in a time where, credit card debt is at an all-time high. Student loan debt is at a all-time high. How do you guys function or even educate your people in a space in a time where it's like people are overusing credit?
On David Ramsey website, if you want to buy his course, you can pay with a credit card.
Period. America is in the most debt possible. And we are thriving.
We're thriving. So what I teach is, like in anything, like when we talk about the spirituality, everything has a good and bad purpose when it was created, right? So credit was used to make money. Business credit existed before personal credit.
Right.
Then the lenders figure out, hey, we can give people credit cards and they go buy TVs on Black Friday and charge them 20% later. But you use credit to make money. It is a tool. So when you teach people about money and credit, then they learn a lot of good things. So like in our mentorship, say for instance, you have a $20,000 credit card and you go run this play, you max out $10,000 of it, right? What we teach you is how to do manufactured spending and renting out the trade line so that you can pay back the debt, right? So we got to show you an entry point and an exit point. You got to have a business plan. So because people are not showing the holistic portion of credit, how to use it, how to flip it, how to maintain the debt and all that stuff, that's where people get lost. But credit is a good thing. There is good credit. Credit makes people money, right? It's so easy for Dame Ramsey to say things like that, but I'm pretty sure he shops on Amazon. And guess what Jeff Bezos did? He got a bunch of credit cards. He got credit from other people. He got credit from banks, and now it's $1 trillion company. So unless you got $1 trillion, you don't know what you're talking about, right? I've made millions of dollars on credit, right? The portfolio we're continuing to build is on credit. I wish I would use my own money.
But you do teach from a beginner standpoint that you have to pay down your debts.
Absolutely.
100%. And you have to do those things 100%. Because
you have to pay down your bad debt.
Bad debt.
Right. Your good debt, you don't have to hurry up and pay down.
So what is the difference between good debt and bad debt? Examples.
Simple. Good debt, bad debt doesn't make you money.
It's a liability.
It's a liability. You're buying shoes, you're buying a TV. Did that make you any money? And then you bought it for $1,000 and you think it's just $1,000, but you're not paying the full $1,000 in 30 days. So now it's $1,000 times 20% time how many months you're paying it. Versus you take that same $1,000 and invest it in whatever that's paying off the note of the $1,000 a month and is giving you change. So you're paying off the interest payment and you're putting the profits in your pocket. That's good debt, right? So imagine doing that 10, 20, 30 times, right? So that's how your portfolio get bigger because you're growing using other people's money.
What's the most amount of like debt somebody can get or most amount of credit somebody can obtain?
Oh, billions. Yeah. So
America is in debt. America ain't in debt with $100K.
Yeah, Magic but I mean, people aren't America. Isn't America like?
But I'm just saying.
Magic Johnson. He bought the Commanders for $6 billion. You think he had $6 billion? Liquid
in his pocket?
Right. No, he got a loan. He put some on it. Right. The business is making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Right. So what are you talking, Dave?
I like Dave. For the basic average person. Why?
But that's who he's for, though.
He's for the basic. For them. He's not for the entrepreneurs and like all that stuff.
Trying to become rich.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to become rich and wealthy and leave
for
something
the middle class family that just want to come out of bad debt. Yeah. That's what that's for.
He serves his purpose.
Yes.
Pay down. He shows you how to pay down bad debt. I'm going to show you how to go get some more debt.
And in the middle of that, somebody needs to teach people how to use money. And how to, make it work for them.
This is where we fell when we first started. Where we was getting people a bag,
right,
hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then those same people come back 6 months. Yeah, can you fix my credit? And we were like, "Yo, I remember this name. We look in the file, George. Did we fix your credit last year? Yeah, man, I messed it."
So now when we have those people that do something like that, because we don't do credit repair anymore, we do more of a consulting, and we kind of guide you through that process. If you was with us before and you come back, you have to go through a program. Because what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
What are you doing? I'm not trying to do this again. That's work.
Yeah. That's why now in our academy, it's really important that we have masterminds of other people who are even smarter than us to show you how to invest your money and make money. Because clearly when I gave you $100,000, I did a disservice to you.
Because you weren't ready.
Yeah, you weren't ready. Just because you had LLC, I gave you the bread. Now when somebody comes to us and you're in a funnel, oh, you got 50,000, you got 100,000. We got this academy, $50,000 a month. We got a mastermind every single month with people who are in different spaces making millions of dollars. You really should tap into them, right? You should reinvest that money into yourself and start the business so you can help pay off this debt, right? So that is our accountability that we're doing to ourselves and to our new clients moving forward.
So is credit more of a behavior, like credit?
Yes.
Is it more behavior or more of a know-how?
Both,
definitely.
Definitely a behavior.
Which one is more?
Know-how.
I like behavior a little better.
I know, but knowing how to use the tool is really important. No, you can have the information, you have the know-how and don't do nothing.
People know how to do it too, but if your habits are terrible, you're gonna forget. No, I know, but I'm still doing this anyway. I think your behavior weighs out more.
So I get. Pay my bills. That's it. And my credit score isn't that great. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you like this. Are there more people that need to know how, or are there more people that need to have better behavior?
Both. Is there more people with that the behavior is?
But I'm asking it either. I'm not asking both.
You're making me to choose, right? So what is it?
So if you had to teach people how to obtain more credit, or if you had to teach people the behavior behind keeping good credit, which one would you rather do?
Before you answer that,
not going to the bank to get funding, but hey, these are the behaviors.
Before you say that, remember the story we just told you. We got this man a bag for $100K or something, and then he came back because he messed up. He knew how to do it. We taught him because he got it.
I know, but the behavior of money he didn't understand. He had bad behaviors.
You think we teach them the behaviors in the beginning? Like, don't do this, don't. That's a part of the process. Go ahead, answer your question how you want.
I think I'm gonna lean towards behavior. Granted, when we went to subscription model, thousands of people signed up.
Yeah,
thousands. So thousands of people have the information they wanted. They wanted it, but I think people have bad behaviors. Like, you can't give everybody $100,000. You cannot.
I'm not giving my uncle. Love you.
$100,000. Yeah,
I'm not giving that to him.
There's a lot of people you can't because they got bad behaviors. So I couldn't give. I'm irresponsible.
And do you think that's something that we in our community, people who look like us, come from where we come from, have to work on more?
Yeah, we need, and our community lacks trust.
And how do we gain trust within not only in ourselves but in our community as a whole? And here's what I believe too. I think that because we've always built something, right? We've always built something. Well, in whatever time period it was, it's always somehow gotten crushed. It's always somehow, has become non-existent. I think that we have this mindset, and I could be wrong, where we're afraid to sacrifice it now because we know in the later it won't even be here. So like, why even do it now? Do you think that's a plight, and how do we get over that, or if that's even a thing?
I tell people all the time, I plant seeds for fruit I'll never eat, right? So that's our problem. Some part of our problem. We always want instant gratification, or if I don't get the fruit now, then what's the point? Right. I have children, right? The word says a wise man leaves riches for his children's children. So if you don't leave riches for your children, what are you? A fool. That's what the word says. Because you're too concerned with self. I'm not. I've made money. I'm good. I have a wonderful house, beautiful family, cars. We travel the world together. What else do I need? Yeah. Nothing. Right now, I got to store up wealth for my children and my children's children. That's what I'm working on right now. Fruit I will never see. I probably won't see my grandchildren, but they're going to be good.
We live in America. America, we have all the tools to be one of the most healthy societies in the world. And we are the worst. We are the worst.
Right. We have to be very purposeful.
How is there a Dubai when America's been around for 400 years?
Wild.
How's it what?
He built that in 40 years.
How is there a Dubai when there's America for 400 years?
He built Dubai in his lifetime.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
And I've been there twice, and Dubai is amazing.
It's amazing.
Even the worst parts look great.
Whenever I look at it, I was like, lit. God put that in his head, and then he was like, and he created it. That's wild to me.
So then what's wrong with the society today? What's wrong with America? And there's a lot of great things that are good with America. We have capitalism, but it's like we still have homeless people. We still have like mass homeless people.
Damaris said it. Selfless.
It's a lot of greed.
Selfish. We're very greedy. Hundreds of billions of dollars in money are printed and sent to other countries, but we have illiterate and homeless people here. You go to Dubai, they make hundreds and billions of dollars too. Not a single homeless person. Not one on the street, right? So it's some cultural things that
we lack the basic principles of
humanity,
of the word.
Yeah, of the word. Yeah.
They don't have but people in Dubai, they study the Bible. I don't think so. So is that a word thing or is that a cult?
So what are the people in Dubai? What is their religion?
Mostly Islam.
Yeah, Islam,
and they read the Bible.
Yo, big facts.
They read the Bible.
No, big facts. When I went to Dubai. We spent a couple of days at a mosque because I want to learn, and he's like, he said it to me. He's like, I know more about Jesus than you do.
100%.
They love to tell you that. I was like, that's how it was. I was like, no, you don't. He's like, I got a book in the Bible, just in the Quran, just about Jesus. He's like, I know more about him than you do. I just don't believe he's the son of God, but I know about him. He was a good prophet. He was this, he was that. Give me all the word. And I was like, dang. He's like, you don't follow the principles of Jesus.
They don't.
And he said it. He's like, how are there homeless people? How's that possible? He's like, you have all this money. How's that possible? I was quiet. I don't run America, bro. He's like, yeah. But
so how do we as a people? Because I mean, America was founded on, I guess, biblical principles. Maybe not from. Maybe
it was built on economic principles.
Yeah,
right. And I was gonna say biblical principles, not from the actual.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really Catholicism.
Yeah, because
honestly,
you can't say you're built on biblical principles when you owned people. And you own people for capitalistic reasons.
Right.
So, no, you're built on the God of money, not the God of Yeshua.
So then how does that change, or does it not change?
It doesn't change.
I mean, I want a lot of people that are Christians, especially, to stop asking, like, will it change? Y'all know it's not. Did y'all read Revelations?
Yes.
Do y'all understand what's happening?
Yeah.
Do y'all know what the mark of the beast is and the 7 demons he about to release on this? Oh, come on. It's not going to get better.
You pay attention. Everything's going on in the Middle East right now.
Oh, man.
I pray to the Lord Almighty that I'm going before he allow them people to come up on this earth and wreak havoc.
I hope I'm out of here.
So
I ain't
stop
trying to be
asking
through
that.
this tribulation.
Stop
What kind of
asking
scare?
if it's going to get better. It's
not. Why you looking at me like I'm just
I had to look at the camera.
Like, you might be around for it. So
it's not.
No,
Read
it's
Revelation.
Not gonna change.
It's scary.
Everything is going according to plan.
You know what's crazy? And I think I told you this story before, maybe not, but when I was in the 7th grade, I tell you the 7th grade story.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to read the book. It was study hall. I used to read the book. The only book I ever read from
the back,
front to back, like word for word, was Revelation.
Really?
And my teacher would always be like, "Why aren't you doing homework?" 1, I don't have homework to do. 2, I was like,
"This is very interesting."
It's interesting because it's like, really?
Yeah.
It's like, for real?
Man, you gotta understand the wickedness that happened in here for that to be seen.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
So like Amazon has a thing where you can your palm. You can scan your palm. I don't know if you saw it. You can scan your palm. Is that
you go to Whole Foods and all that?
Do you think that's a mark of the beast?
I don't necessarily know what the mark of the beast is.
Yeah.
I think we'll all be tricked into getting it somehow or another, because we have slowly given away our freedoms, and Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, they're really good at making you release a lot of freedoms that you have. So like right now, like the way that we're be able to be tracked right now, you gave up that freedom. You cannot go to another country without a passport. Why not? You can't move freely, right? You give this phone your face that is given to somebody else, right? The phone tracks everywhere you go, and it's a norm to you. So now if it was taken away from you, you wouldn't know what to do with it, right? You don't need a wallet anymore. Your ID is on here. You can scan. This probably is the mark of the beast. You can't eat without this. I can't make money without this.
I don't even carry a wallet right now, actually.
See? I can't make money. If somebody took this from me, I can't communicate with my family, my friends. I can't eat. I can't travel. This probably is the mark of the beast.
Did you see the movie that just came out?
No, are we talking about Rich? The Clarence? The Book of Clarence?
No, not Book of Clarence. Left Us Behind.
Left Behind?
Left Us.
Oh, everyone talked about that too. That's another one. That's on Netflix?
Yeah, what's that movie?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. The world kind of came to an end. Like, yeah.
Here, let me
I gotta put it on the list.
I think it's Leave Us Behind.
Leave Us Behind or something like that. Leave Us Behind and Clarence. All right, I got 2 movies to watch. I got homework to do.
Hold on.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, y'all don't know, something happened. The phone fell and it hit something, and he back there having a commotion right now. Oh my God.
Oh, Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind.
Oh, it's such a good movie, and it talks about y'all crazy.
Nah, it's wild back there. Y'all, you don't see what's going on.
Hey, shout out to Attractive Mindset over there.
Yep.
You know, ROV hype over there acting crazy behind the scenes,
killing the show,
trying to kill our show, trying to kill the show in its infancy before it blows up.
I'm cracking up.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But shout out to those guys over there for making it happen with production in the back. You know, if you ever need a podcast film, come to their studio. You know, DM Attractive Mindset, DM ROV hype. You know, they help me out with my events, the Entrepreneurs Link Up. So shout out to them.
Shout out to the sponsorship they just paid. They didn't even know they paid.
That's crazy.
That's
right?
crazy.
I'm so happy I got that 10 bands coming my way.
100%. Right? So yeah, but in the movie, everything happened where they cut off technology. You know, then they caused confusion. And it was just crazy about like how really in today's world it's easy to cause confusion, because if you take away communication, nobody knows anything, especially if you live on the outskirts.
Or if you still have communication, but you disrupt communication.
Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
For too long without people knowing?
Yeah, bro. No, not disrupt communication. I mean, like, tell lies, propaganda.
Which happens
There's so much lies right now.
Crazy.
That it is, and I think they do this on purpose. They give so many versions of the story, you have become immune to it, and you just don't want to hear it, which is probably a plan, too.
100%. I don't watch the news.
Right. I don't watch the news.
I don't watch the news
because I just can't. It's just too much, which is probably what they wanted me to do.
Not know what's going on.
Right. But at the flip side, I am very intentional because I believe in being an educated citizen. Right. So I do seek knowledge outside of what is propagated to me. So that's important. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Americans are dumb. Yeah. I'm going to say that on podcast. Yeah. We're idiots.
I mean,
bro.
yeah.
I saw this dope tweet. what America thinks about Florida, right? You know, y'all out here. Man. What America thinks about Florida is what the world thinks about America. You guys are dumb idiots. People are poor. You don't give people insurance. You don't educate your people. You guys are fat, sick. You dying from you literally die from the stuff you put into your body. The stuff willingly. The stuff you put into your body, our governments do not allow to put into the food there. So we have the different ketchup than you do.
How can you unwillingly do it though? Because it all ties in the economic structure as well. You know, because the healthiest things cost money. The healthiest things cost time, which a lot of people don't want. And I feel like even what you talked about, we're becoming immune to it. We become so immune to, I want this right now. I'm going to take a plane instead of a train. I'm going to, you know, drive my car 2 minutes away instead of ride my bike. You know, I'm going to ride my bike around the neighborhood instead of running around the neighborhood. Right. And I feel like that is something like our time and us wanting access to things so fast is also a reason why we are unhealthy. Right. Also a reason why we have bad credit. Also a reason why we don't have good mental and physical and spiritual well-beings. Right. It's because we want things so fast. I want to get saved, but I don't want to go through the journey. Child. You know, I'm going to go to church for these couple of weeks. And listen, I'm saying this as a sinner. I am saying this as somebody who is on their walk, but I know because I'm on the journey. I'm on the walk. It's like, I want to be saved, but I don't want to go read my Bible, or I don't want to go to crew. I don't want to stay in the community. You know, I want to have a good credit score, but I want to get it fixed right now, even though that those things can show up a year or two down the line. I don't want to just go and, you know what, let me stop eating out. Let me pay off my debts. You know, let me stop buying these new shoes, or let me not shop at these designers, or let me go shop at H&M and, you know, because I want it fast. Also because I want to look good. Because I want to say, oh, I went here and I shopped here and I used this camera and that camera. Go use your iPhone.
What was the question?
I don't know, but I was going off on a tangent.
I'm going to answer your question.
What was the question?
How can we change all of this, right?
Okay.
Finish my sentence. My people perish because of a lack of what? Knowledge. Knowledge is key, right? So educating you on diet, exercise, finances, everything, spirituality, you seeking knowledge. Literally, the word says what? If you draw nigh unto me, I will what? Draw nigh unto you.
You abide in me, I abide in you.
Seek first the kingdom of what?
God.
And you used to be a pastor?
I told you he was a youth pastor at church. Yeah, that's how I told him. He was a youth pastor at church. He was at church 6 days a week teaching the youth the Bible.
This when he had hair?
This is when he lost his hair. He was like 17.
No cap. Where I had word. Seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and what? Everything else shall be added unto you. The word says everywhere. Seek knowledge.
Seek it.
How did I learn about credit? I seek knowledge. And because I have that knowledge, I'm able to make money from it. And a fool and a hater will be mad at me for charging you for teaching it to you. I'll tell people all the time, you're going to pay. You're going to pay with time, or you're going to pay with money. Either you're going to study it yourself, that's how you're going to pay, or you're going to pay me and I'll teach you how to do it. Right? But nobody wants to seek knowledge. Right? Damaris knows this. Like 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, I had a headache. My face was this big. I was swollen. I had the knowledge where I need to eat better. I started drinking more water, just doing fruits and vegetables. I'm down 10 pounds.
I hate him. It took him 4 days.
Wow, it's
crazy.
We
did the same diet.
Wow.
I didn't lose a pound.
Yeah, because you stopped taking the tea.
Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
Sorry, camera's on.
Right. Carry on. Sorry. So that made me feel better, right? Knowledge. I paid for knowledge. I think I said this in another podcast. We spent $20,000-$30,000 for a mentorship. It taught us how to do a VIP day. We've done 100 VIP days. Got my return on investment. Nobody wants to seek knowledge, bro. Nobody wants to. So we give the information for free. I can't tell you how many people go down my Instagram, go down my YouTube for free, and they be like, "Yo, Herm, I made 10,000. I made 15,000 off the free game you gave me." Nobody wants to do the work, bro.
So now I have a question. Let me bring it to you based off what he said. How do we get people to want to seek the knowledge? Is it because seeking the knowledge isn't cool? How do we get to that? Or how can somebody get to that point?
I don't know. So encouraging people to do like the right thing is always good. Sorry, this was a bad idea.
That was wild. That
was a bad idea.
That was
a
crazy.
bad idea because it was like right there.
You put it in your jacket pocket?
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat it again because it was
this
like
is the
a
CEO?
lot. Yeah.
I don't want you to cut that out.
Yo, keep that in there.
And you know why that's burning me up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Why? I apologize.
Wait, what?
I was on PodCon with the gum in my mouth, and I was smacking
on stage,
away.
3,000 people, gum in her mouth right here.
I forgot to take
and
it out.
I'm looking at her. That was the hose.
It was the hose.
Yeah,
but when I was talking, it was on my tongue full, so I just wanted to
but I got a hose you can't even tell.
I don't know how to.
She don't know how to do it
right here.
I couldn't do it.
And then while we're talking, the camera's not really on you, so that you can kind of do what you
do.
But
I started talking.
It was on when she did that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we definitely keep that in.
Y'all done?
Hey, y'all, listen. This is the part of the episode where we talk about. Sometimes you don't need the qualifications in order to be qualified.
Wow. Wow. So basically, you telling me
you saw what he did.
I saw.
You saw what he did.
No, I'm bigging you up.
Nah. That's what you're doing.
I know he not.
I'm bigging you
up.
I
know that. Thank you, Daniel, because he wasn't.
I really am.
He wasn't.
If you want to, I mean, even Jesus had his 12 disciples. They weren't of the Pharisees and of the. You know, you're a CEO of a multi-million-dollar industry,
and I'm
talking about.
And listen, and I'm gonna be very clear. My title doesn't change who I am.
We clearly can see, as you said, this is the part of the episode where we talk about you don't need the qualifications in order to be qualified.
To answer your
Exhibit
question,
A. Congrats on your success, though. We love it.
It's not safe here. It's not.
Oh my God! All right, to answer your question, how do we get people to want to learn it and get educated? Right?
Yeah. Or even in your space.
I mean, I don't know, just truly like showing them like the lives that we live. But it's very hard to change our culture's opinions and priorities to truly like seek the knowledge, because for 3 years America was printing out money. So why I gotta do that? Because I could just get the money real fast. Like, think about it. Nobody wants to work. Everybody wants to be self-employed and ain't qualified to run a business or don't have the knowledge or the resources to truly be effective, right? I don't know what to do, but to continue to like show them how it can be and like encourage them and be an advocate for like, hey, it's okay to sit down and learn. You don't got to know everything, or you can pivot into a different direction and change your environment. Environment plays a huge part of it too. If there's nobody around you willing or open to teaching you anything, or you don't have that drive to do it, they're just not going to do it.
And I like what you said about environment, because I think people mistake your environment, meaning that you have to physically be in front of somebody. Environment could just mean that you're listening to different things.
Yes.
You know, you're reading different things, you're watching different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think environment is like, your environment really happens on the inside of you before it happens on the outside of you. Because
100%.
Before you get the inside of you correct, before you go on the outside and go and show your face, you got to have the inside right, because you can get exposed. And that happens every day, even with the most successful people. Mm-hmm. You know, you become exposed because we haven't worked on ourselves enough. You know, we haven't read the right things enough. You know, we haven't been around the right people, you know, watching the right things, listening to the right things, writing the right things, mm-hmm. hearing the right things. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know, so that's great what you said. Now, being a CEO of this company, mm-hmm. right, Bella Sloan Enterprises, shout out to Bella. Mm-hmm. This is the part of the episode where no, I'm just kidding. You know, how was that for you? How was that transition from, you know, I heard earlier that you were talking about, you know, you working 5 jobs to now you being a CEO of, mm-hmm. you're technically handling a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of relationships, connections, you know, a lot of back end processes. How did you go from working the 5 jobs to now being in this role, which you seem like you've been doing pretty well? I
don't know. So God, I know we talked about him a lot here, but truly God. But I always knew, like in high school, shout out to my Uncle Myron. When I lived with him, I see him every day going outside. But that man ain't had a job first. He ain't never had 9 to 5. But on the first of the month, that man had a wad of cash in his pocket. He old school. And I was like, how this man making money like this? And he told me he had properties. He had like 20 properties. He was going to collect rent. And I was like, I want to do that. So my first love was real estate. And then I realized I didn't like people that much to show houses back to back like that. So I was like, I don't like that. So I was like, let me see what I can do in this field that could be great. And it was mortgages, because you can argue with me about what kind of kitchen you want and the backyard not big enough, but you can't argue about me with the numbers. You can't argue about how much money you make and the house or the price of the house. So that's where I went to. Graduate out of college. I knew I was always going to be in business, but I didn't know which form or fashion of business I was going to be into. So I just went with it. And when I got into mortgages, it was just like open door. And then I started working, understand like the process of like running businesses, numbers. And then I had quit corporate. Again, I told y'all, I left Charlotte. I was there for the wrong reasons, came back home, and I was working at Amazon in the warehouse for a little bit, doing mortgages. And then my manager at the time, my manager before I quit, so if y'all don't know about Amazon don't really own drivers, right? They don't own them. They hire companies and they call them DSPs. So these companies come in and they run the trucks so they can run the material. So I was hired as the logistics dispatch manager off of how I worked in the warehouse. that helped me understand the process of logistics. So that transition from working corporate, doing logistics, to then coming here, it was a lot easier because I knew how to run a business, and then I got the logistics part of it. And then it meshed together, and it formed this non-applicant, because I did not apply on my resume, CEO. So that's how I got here.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to ask. You know, I'm like amazed.
She doing all right.
I'm doing okay. It's a learning curve.
And then for you, I guess, you know, being the founder of I say founder, but being the founder of Bella Sloan, you know, what was that like, you know, putting her in position?
Scary. It was very frightening because I ran Bella Sloan for 5 years. And to give it over to somebody to run was scary because it has my daughter's name on it. It is my namesake. And nobody's going to love your business like you do. Right. And even after I handed it over to her, it was very difficult for me to get out of the business. And there was a lot of yelling and screaming. She's like, you got to trust me. I got to take control of the plane. You got to let me fly it, or else it's going to actually be detrimental for the company because I won't know how to run it. So once I really gave it over to her, that's when Bella Sloan Academy was created. That's when other businesses, 6-figure, 7-figure businesses were started because she got it. So I started, I was able to move away, go shake hand, kiss babies, travel more, start different businesses, put them under the Bella Sloan Enterprises umbrella, trained her on it. I'm like, all right, you got this. Let's go do something else. So that's all we're doing. That's all I'm doing right now. He's like, what do you do? People ask me, what do I do? I was like, I start new businesses. I build new relationships. Right. So our attorney Lala just left here. There's some stuff we went out to brunch earlier. All right, we're gonna do this, and this. I'm able to do things like that and grow the portfolio of what this corporation is literally turning into. So that's exciting. But you have to trust, audit your circle, right? Get people in your circle, trust them to do what they're gonna do, so that you can continue to grow in your purpose.
Yeah, trust is a huge factor in that.
Huge factor
in this part, because you can't just put anybody in somebody in that position like that. I genuinely cared about Bella Sloan Enterprises like it was mine. Today I still do. That's why I told him it's mine. I don't care about this. Mine, our money. You know what I'm saying? This is our money because we worked for it, right? So I think when people ask those questions, we get it a lot. Like, how did you know that Damaris was the one? Be genuine and also trust. Those are the two factors that people should look for.
There was one time, bro. PayPal. How much they hold? 30 bands.
300.
Yeah, you like telling me I write your business. All right, yeah, all right. 300,000. PayPal held up 300. No, there was before 300. It was 30,000. They took. It was missing. They didn't take it. It was missing from the account. And this is at this point where I really trust her. So she had access to all the money. So it was missing. It was like 3:00 in the morning. Called back to back. What's up? She's like, $30,000 is missing.
No way.
I was like, oh, listen, I took it from the account. I took it from PayPal because I needed to put it into the bank account so I can pay bills and do payroll. She's like, oh. She called me a lot of names.
Yep.
She was like, you should have told me da-da-da-da-da. Hung up the phone, and my wife rolled over. She's like, you're so lucky. You have a good one. I was like, I know. Because she's looking at it like it was her money. 30,000 can't go missing and nobody not say nothing. Right. So that's when I knew I was in a good situation.
That's dope. Now, because you audited your circle, and now you have an amazing CEO, and then you're a part of an incredible, I believe based on what I saw or what I've seen, even being on like 1 or 1.5 calls, like I think you guys are gonna do amazing. What is the ultimate goal? And maybe not even the ultimate goal, but like, where do you guys see Bella Sloan Enterprises going, from where it is to where it's going to be, and how long, and what are the processes behind it?
You might have 2 viewpoints. You go first.
I was about to tell you to go first.
All right, I'll go first.
But be short.
Y'all want to play rock, paper, scissors?
Be short.
Come on.
All right, ready?
Hold on, wait.
This is crazy.
All
This
right,
is
ready?
really happening.
All right, 2 out of 3. Ready?
I gotta record this.
2 out of 3.
Right.
2 out of 3.
All
Like, you had one. All right.
Do you do shoot, or you just, I'm saying you throw it out?
1, 2, 3, shoot.
All right.
Throw it out. Throw it out. Hey,
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
That's
All
crazy.
right, ready? Come on.
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, tied. 1, 2, 3, shoot. I
2 out of
win.
3.
1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. So that's 1 up, right?
That's 1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. All right, this is it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. All right, one more. We gotta keep going. Next one wins. 1, 2, 3, shoot. One more. 1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, you win. All right,
go first.
Oh, I go first.
Yeah.
All right, what was your question?
Live on the podcast.
Yeah, live on the podcast.
If you want to come on the pod and play,
All right, what is it? What was your question? Oh, what do I see us?
Yeah.
So I actually want Bella Sloan
vision process and how long
actually become a free service.
Yeah, we don't have the same view. Yeah. So carry on.
Credit, funding,
he won Rock Paper Scissors Shoot. Hello.
Yeah, I want it all free. You know why? Because I don't want to fix credit forever.
We don't fix credit. Stop saying that.
Whatever the word is, educate, whatever the word is, right? Fix credit, fund people, educate people. I don't want to do it anymore. I want it to all be free. Why? Because at that point in 5-10 years, we have pivoted to 8, 9, 10 figure businesses where I have a shipping company. I'm building a tower in Dubai. I'm not doing none of that stuff. So those things fund, what we're doing here, where we just do it for free. Hey guys, the education is free. Knock yourselves out. But I'm building my 3rd tower in Haiti. I'm building my 4th tower with my name on it in Dubai. That's what I would like to happen. Go ahead, CEO.
I'm cracking up. No, I mean, of course, a lot more corporate. Not doing the things that he mentioned. Like, of course, I don't want to do that. But I also want to have a resource for them to have it for, of course, a smaller scale where it could be like a small subscription, something light. Something light. Just like a little service charge. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not crazy, but
when people pay, they pay attention.
Facts.
Right.
Because when it's free.
I got a question. Are you scared of the mic?
When it's free, people don't really pay much attention, or they don't appreciate it as much. But I see us being a lot more corporate, a lot more, diverse in the multifaceted things that you can do in business, and being a huge platform that can help different genres of business and also different what's the word? Come on, help me.
Diversification.
Big pause. Big, like no matter how big or small your company is, our company could be a place that could be a.
It can serve a wide range of
diverse.
Whatever. But yeah, that's what I want us to be. Just focusing a lot more being. I want to have a skyscraper building that say Bella Sloan Enterprises.
So you guys really had the same vision. She just wants the education to still be $50 a month.
$50 a month, yeah.
Yeah, because I understand when it means to be free. People don't value free stuff.
They don't, bro.
And they don't understand the effort that it takes to put together something good for you to be free. Like, for example, if you do secure your future, don't junk on time. You do a thing and you put some money behind it and some resources behind it. You got food and you got liquor and you got entertainment and you got no one cares that you spent all that money and that time into it, and that's not fair to you because you're giving back to them so they can receive it. So I feel like at some point you have to hold people accountable and just like, hey, it's $5, just $5, just for you to be here, just so that I can have some form of like skin in the game from you.
Right.
Yeah.
So the interest is mutual.
Yeah.
The free client, the subscription client, the 10K client, the 25K client, those are 4 different people.
Yep.
And technically, you guys do have a free,
Yeah, our social media is
free.
Media
is like
YouTube is free, and we teach and we give game.
Even when you do give away things for a small fee, there are that type of people that you have to be mindful of too. So, and why we tried to outprice certain things so many times to come into a different demographic only because we wanted a different style of people, a different commitment of people. And that comes with when you have free stuff. So I think people should always be mindful of that too, because the type of people you get when it's free is not always fun, and it's not always worth it.
Now, transitioning in from where we are now to where we're going, talking about the future, talking about, you guys' vision, how do you feel like AI will play a part in what you guys do and even in the business world in general? Is it something to be scared of? Do you think that AI and, do you think that it's something to embrace? And how are you guys implementing that into your business or businesses, conglomerate?
Go ahead.
I mean, I think AI is going to be something crazy. Scared of it? No. But being prepared for it, yeah.
I think it's going to be a great asset. I think it's like any tool. It could be used for evil. It could be used for good. It could work against you. Or it could work for you. Understanding how to use it for you in its infancy is super important. Like right now, we've taught our clients website, marketing, posting. You could literally go, I forgot what the website is called. I apologize. But you could tell it, hey, my business does this. My graphic colors are this. It'll create a website for the AI will create a website for you, and it'll create your marketing materials to post on Facebook. Right. So I showed this to my mentees, And I think that the thing costs like $50 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, imagine marketing yourself as a website developer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I can do a website for you for $150, turnaround time 24 hours. And you have people fill out the intake form. And the AI does the work in 10 minutes. And you deliver in 24 hours. And you're doing volume because I get a website for $150. Thank God Herman sent me to you because he said for me to get business funding, I need to have a website. Not only are you giving me a website, you're also giving me marketing materials. So I look totally legitimate. So some people are scared of this, right? Because it could wipe them out, people who really make websites. But somebody who is smart will take this information and make a bag. They can make a quick $100,000.
Because they become the person, they don't get replaced by the AI. They become the person that knows how to leverage the
AI.
Correct.
Exactly.
Because it's not about, it's about who you leverage, what you leverage, and how you leverage it.
Yeah, clip that up and send that to me, man. That's a good clip right there. Yeah.
Are we clipping that up?
Send me that reel.
There's gonna be a lot of clips here.
Yeah.
I mean, and even with the simplest AIs now, like using automations and even ChatGPT and these things like that, I think that people need to know those things. Especially 100%. Like I know a lot of realtors because my mom is a realtor. Shout out to my mom. Hey, this is the part of the podcast where we shout out my mom who had me at 14 years old. They just bought a school building, 25,000 square feet. Shout out to True Prep Academy. I wouldn't be where I am or even close to where I am without her.
Bam.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Shout out to Mom Dukes. Where's your water at?
Right there.
It's too far. But so like even those little things, like even in the real estate where I'm like, yo, listen, like they had me doing a call like next Wednesday for it. I'm like, yo, all of y'all need to know this stuff because AI will take all of y'all out. Y'all already do. We already as realtors, especially today's time, do like a little bit of work. Like imagine if you can leverage a little bit of work you do and to speed it up with the AI and the automations and all these things, and it's like you will grow, exponentially. But then even with AI, how is, I guess you're the face, right, Herman? What is the importance of you keep putting out this content, on social media, on YouTube, especially Instagram? You go crazy on Instagram. Like what is the importance of that? And then for any entrepreneur that is maybe watching this podcast or watching you, why is it important to invest, or is it even important to invest into social media and put out clips continuously and put your face out there and build your brand?
So I think that is important because more and more every year, like in 2023, 2024, content is king, right? At Bella Sloan Enterprises, we have a freemium model, right? Where we give out as much information for free. The information for free, if you execute it properly, will garner results. So on our YouTube channel, Bella Sloan Enterprises on YouTube, we show you how to remove collections. We show you how to remove inquiries. We show you how to remove how to get credit cards, right? High limits. We show you all these things for free, right? So there's no excuses, right? So we dump that content all the time. When I go live on Instagram, I post it on YouTube, right? Shout out to YouTube for sending checks every time those videos go crazy, right? So I'm monetizing that also. What happens is me and Damaris have created a model where we create our future client. So now that you fixed your credit for free, or you can have us do it, now that you got $10,000, $15,000, guess what you're going to do? You're like, yo, if free
can give me
got me 10, 15, what if I gave you $5,000, $10,000? Oh, okay. $5,000, $10,000, I can show you how to make 6. You can spend a VIP day with me in Philly. We have an Audit Your Circle Mastermind at $25K. So you creating content in turn will create sales. You have to give value first. I tell people I'm going to give you the money to pay me. I don't ask you for nothing. Give me your time. I'm going to give you the money to pay me because I love creating future clients for myself.
What?
Oh, you don't be on social media like that?
Nah, I don't really.
Yeah, you started the wrong person, bro. Yeah. I'm working on it.
I'm camera shy. I'm working on it.
You can't say that. You gotta know you're
speaking that into.
Yeah, don't say you're camera shy.
I'm speaking my reality.
Because
but
you're on
let
the
me
camera.
Finish my statement though. I am camera shy, but I am working on being a lot more open to being in front of the camera and being comfortable in front of the camera.
I tell her all the time. I'm like, you have to become the face of the business. You are the CEO of the business. Tim Cook, Steve Jobs, whenever he was doing his thing, the CEO of Google, whenever they have their conferences, who's talking?
The CEO.
Listen, CEO. I'm very aware of that, but I know there's a lot of millionaire CEOs that are not CEO, and I would love to be that one.
But I'm gonna tell you though, also like you being a female, especially at the age you are, you're not old. Like you're young.
Wow, you gotta go there.
Yeah.
I just say you're not old.
Wow, that's okay.
You mean to tell people your age?
No, relax.
I was just,
all right.
My bad. I was just saying. So
silly.
But there's people. There's women out there that people like in our like millennials. They say millennials is like the lost generation, where like we have the most people, but we don't have the most amount of wealth, right? And so you being a millennial, you're at a point where people want to hear your story, because there's people that are sitting in couches just like this at home, not understanding that, yo, if I go and serve somebody, right? If I go and serve my way, serve somebody else's higher purpose, serve somebody else's vision with something that you even like, then you can be in a position where you can get equity. You can be in a position where you are a CEO now. You can be in a position where, you know, you're talking on stage in front of 3,000 to 5,000 people about what it's like to be a CEO, to run the behind the scenes. And I think that's important, you know, you telling your story. And I think that everybody should tell their story, because, you know, it's very important. And I want to use this example because my mother, I posted something for her maybe like a couple months ago of her talking to she was doing a conference with Trayvon Martin's mom at Norland High School, where they went to high school at one point. And at the end of the conference, a young lady was talking to her about, you know, hey, how can I get into real estate, right? Long story short, I posted a behind the scenes, right, B-roll footage of her talking to this girl, but with the captions telling my mom's story. Had a kid at 14 years old, quit my job at 21 years old, now I own a school, right? That thing has now 5.8 million views. And now people are now inquiring about, man, if she can do it at 14, if she can do it at 21, if she could own a school, and this is what she looks like, you know, a beautiful young woman, but she doesn't have the best circumstances, then I can do it myself. So I believe that even for you in 2024, like you coming out of your shell is, and for anybody watching this, I think it's very important to tell your story, because telling your story is not about, remember, telling your story is not about you.
But I'm here now.
Jesus didn't tell a story because of him. He told a story to help thousands and hundreds of millions of people.
But I'm here now.
Okay.
There you go.
I hope this is the beginning of
I'm speaking that into your future, by the way.
He's speaking into you.
Which is the now.
Thank you for your prophecy.
Which is now. Yeah.
So
profit.
So I mean, guys, this is a Secure Your Future pod where we come and we talk about, you know, I guess the 7 pillars of success. Ooh, I just came up with that. The
That's so
7
good.
pillars of success.
Trademark it.
Mental, physical, emotional, social, relational, financial, and most important,
all, spiritual.
Yeah,
and so I guess it's something we're gonna do at the end of each pod. When you hear the word secure your future, you know, what does that mean to you?
Securing your future to me means securing as many assets as possible so that your time is free. That's what it means to me, because I love waking up and doing whatever I want to do, being wherever I want to be with no limits. That's what it means to me.
Damaris?
Legacy. Creating a legacy for those that you will never meet.
Wow, there you go. And so where can the people follow you guys at?
You can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Haitian_CEO. Check out our business page, Bella Sloan Enterprises, on Instagram also, and on YouTube. And
I'm only on Instagram, Damaris _.
Are we
CEO.
Hold on. Are we downloading a TikTok? Are we downloading a LinkedIn?
No.
She ain't gonna do it, bro.
Not there yet.
Small steps.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Damaris _the CEO. DAMARIS _ the CEO. Instagram.
There's a lot of CEOs on LinkedIn, actually. That might be a good place for you.
I'm on LinkedIn.
It's not like as like.
I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Now I'm proud of y'all. So listen, that's it. I want to shout out a few people. Shout out to my guys Rich in the background, my guy Dan in the background, Attractive Mindset. Yeah. Their pod, check out their podcast. Also check out our events that we host, you know, the Entrepreneurs Link, where we bring entrepreneurs together. And we create an environment where people can connect, collaborate, and create community. Whatever industry that you're in. And I want to say, you know, one, thank you to God also for allowing us to be here. And thank you, you know, for you guys, for whoever watches this, you know, whether it's one person or, you know, 100 million people. You know, we're excited and we're blessed, and we're speaking all that into the past, into the present, which is ultimately the future. So let's go.
All right. See ya.
Talk to you soon.